Hey guys, welcome back for another yin class. Today what we're going to be working into is the frontline and especially opening up the heart. Now if you guys have done classes like this before, vinyasa or yin, you know that these kind of practices tend to have the same effect physically as they do emotionally or mentally. So whatever comes up for you in this class, let it come, let it be there. This is the place for it. So before we get started, make sure you have a pillow, a bolster, a block, any other prop you feel like you need. Just a regular couch pillow will work fine. Once you've got that, start to find yourself in a comfortable seat. Just a little bit of stillness. Close down your eyes. Take a moment to just let yourself land in this space, in this practice. Leave whatever else you're holding on to behind. This practice of yin is all about letting go. Not just physically, but mentally as well. Make sure there's just a little bit of length through your spine, then start to drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. Allowing this length to come through the left side of the neck. If you want a little bit more, you can gently take your left fingertips towards the earth. Don't go searching for that sensation, just let it come. Just inviting it in. A few more breaths here. More round. Slowly start to move back through center. Drop your left ear to your left shoulder. Right fingertips move away. Try and push for more sensation once you feel it. Be with it. Just let it flood over the body, in this case, the right side of the neck. This is where we start to let go of that need to control. One last breath here. Start to move back to center. Keep that length through the spine. Start to look over your right shoulder. Slowly back to center. Start to look over the left. Keeping the spine long. Rotation through the cervical spine, slowly back to center. Blink open your eyes. Move towards our first posture, saddle pose. Start on your knees. You can bring your prop underneath your sitting bones. Start to extend your left leg, so your right leg is back. If you need to build it up higher, build it up higher. But this is where this posture starts. Yeah, this may be enough for you here. If you want a little bit more, you can start to lean back into the hands. But again, this may be enough here. Yeah, if you're feeling sensation through the front of the right thigh, stay. Or you can continue down onto your elbows, or even all the way down to the earth. Once you've found your depth, start to settle in. Try and let go. Any muscular engagement that you're holding on to. Try and release as much as you can. You don't need to push the hips up.
Just let them be where they are. Front of the thigh is a part of the body that we don't stretch. Don't stress the connective tissue anywhere near as much as we should. So even though this sensation might be new, it might be different, let it be there. There's so much to benefit from opening up this part of the body. Just watching the breath. There's no need to force it. Like our yang practices like vinyasa, we don't need to control the breath. All we're doing here is watching. Just a few more deep breaths here. If you can let go a little more, let go. One last slow, long, deep breath. Then really gently, the same way you came into it, start to walk back up. All we're doing is folding over that extended leg now. So your left leg is out long. What you're doing is letting your spine round over that left leg. Now if this is uncomfortable for your right knee, you can extend it out straight. As you round over again, try and let go of any muscular engagement. We're not trying to pull into that left hamstring, we're just rounding over, letting the sensation come wherever your body feels like it needs to come. One of the most important things in yin is to trust your body. Yeah, trust that it knows where to go, trust that it knows what it needs. Just one more breath here, let go a little more if you can. Slowly start to lift the torso up, roll into your left outer hip to extend the right leg. Take the left leg back. So again, that left foot is extended. Sit up as high as you need to. If you need 4 pillows, have 4 pillows. We start here. Maybe this is enough. Maybe you're quite tight through the quads. That is fine. This could be enough. Or you can start to lean back. Wherever you find your depth along the way, perfect, stay there. Whether that's on your hands, coming down to your elbows, or you can come all the way down to the ground. But if your knee starts to lift up when you lay all the way down, just come up 1 point high. Again, no forcing, no pushing in this shape. Just let the sensation move to the front of that left thigh. We're in these shapes, yes, there's a point of focus for us right now. It's the front of the right thigh, but you're also opening up the front of the left ankle. So because we're using different parts of the body can limit us. Maybe you are quite open through the quads, awesome. Maybe you're pretty tight through the ankle. So if you need to move up higher, move up higher. Again, this is just about finding your place in the posture and knowing that that's exactly right. The further you lean back, you're also getting into hip flexors as well. There's a variation of this pose. For everyone, you could be sitting up straight. Know that there's no right or wrong, especially in yin. It's just about discovering sensation, allowing the body to move in a way that it feels like it needs to. One last slow breath, just watching it in and out. Then the exact same way you came in, really slowly, really gently, start to push up. Start to round over through the spine, bringing the weight forward. Again, if this is uncomfortable through this left knee, you can straighten it out to meet the right. Don't think about trying to pull into this right hamstring. Just think about releasing the torso over the legs. Round over through the spine. Maybe you bring the chin to the chest. If you want to play around with the sensation a little bit more, but no, you don't need to. No, wherever you land is enough. Your practice is enough. Your effort is enough. Take one last breath in. Start to lift up the torso. Come up onto your knees. From here, coming into a dragon lunge. So bring your right foot out in front, your left knee down on the earth. Now, if this is uncomfortable for your left knee, You're always welcome to double over your mat. Give yourself a little extra support. When you're ready, start to gently shift the hips down and forward. Now you're going to find a depth that feels right for you here. You can use your pillow or your prop as a little more support. Once you've found your depth, just try and release any tension. Hips sink down towards the earth. And if you're somebody who sits down a lot, either for work or just being at home a lot over the last few weeks, it's going to be really nice to open up through the hip flexors. They're one of the first things that get tight. You spend a lot of time sitting down. Just trust that your body is going to take itself to a depth that it needs to be at. Go of any tension that you're holding on to. Breath out. See if you can let go a little bit more. A few more breaths in. And when you're ready, gently, slowly, with as much care as you can, start to shift the weight back. Drop the right knee to the earth. Come to a child's pose. Now you can round over your legs. You can bring your head towards your pillow or your prop. But allow yourself this opportunity to melt down over your leg. Let your shoulders round over. And even when we're working towards something like opening up the front line, these little moments, when we counter those postures, we're not closing over, we're just allowing everything that we've let in to settle. Allow it to find its place in this stillness. Slowly start to lift back up. We move towards the other side, so now the left foot comes forward. Start to sink the hips towards the earth. Use your bolster, your prop, for a little more support. And just feel your hips sink down towards the mat. opening up these hip flexors. This frontline opening is moved from the thighs and out of the hips. And just find your variation. You could be totally upright, and that may be enough for you. You could be sinking all the way down. Again, with yin, there's no right or wrong, there's just your variation of the posture, where you feel the sensation. Allow this opening to just come naturally. Force it, just allow it to be. One last breath in this stillness. Start to move the hips back. Place your prop on the earth. Child's pose, round over. Your head to the mat or to your prop. Arms down by your sides. Again, not closing off, just being with what's here, being with the stillness, being with whatever's come up for you. One final breath here before we get ready to move. Slowly lift the torso. Now here, you're going to take your prop, place it on the mat behind you. Now if you're working with a pillow or a bolster, it's going to come just above your hips and run the length of your spine. If you're working with a block, place it across the mat at the height of just below your shoulder blades. But we're coming into a reclined butterfly. So bring the soles of your feet together. Lay down on your prop. Let your knees fall out to the side. You can have your hands down on the earth or overhead. You grab a hold of your elbows open up even more. But again, once you find your variation, land there. Know that it's exactly right for you. Give over to gravity. Let it draw your knees down. If this is a bit much, you can take your feet away from your hips, or if you want to invite in just a little more sensation, your heels can come closer. Whatever comes up for you, let it come, let it be there, let it have its time. When you're ready to let it go, let it go. Just like you've let go of any need to control the body. Any need to force sensation, you're just allowing it to be here. Allowing these little subtle flows of energy through the body. Slowly start to extend your legs. Use your elbows to lift up. Remove your prop. Lay down on your back. Just take a moment in stillness. Allow that grounding, heavy energy to wash over. Watching the air move in and out, the belly rise and fall. Slowly start to roll onto your belly. You can keep your head at that end of the mat. When you get there, start to take your right arm out in line with your shoulder. Your arm can be straight or at 90 degrees. Using your left arm, start to roll over to the right side. Bend your knees for a little more support here. You can also take a bolster or a pillow underneath your chest. Once you land here, allow the right heart space to start to open up. Again, whatever comes here, let it go. opening should be gentle and subtle. Not trying to force anything, you're just allowing it to be there, giving it permission to be there. And let go and allow your shoulder to sink down to the floor a little bit more. Do it. Invite it in. Invite that sensation. Distractions are going to be there, that's part of the practice. When they come up, it's how quickly can you bring yourself back to what's going on right now, what you're doing in this moment. What you're doing in this moment is inviting opening. It's the right side of your chest, the right side of your heart. Just take 2 more slow breaths here. Watch them move in and out. Start to slowly move back to center. Your arms down by your sides. Allow the back of your palms to come to the earth. Now let your shoulders roll over. And as you breathe, instead of moving your belly up and down, feel your lower back rise and fall. You're ready. Start to bring that left arm out towards the side. Arm can be bent or straight. Start to gently roll over to the left. Knees can support you, or prop can support you. Just invite this opening in. be afraid of letting go even more. Trust that your body knows what's right. Trust that it knows where to go. One final breath here before you get ready to move. Gently back towards center. Back of hands to the earth. Allow the fronts of the shoulders to come heavy to the ground. Feel your lower back rising and falling with every breath. Maybe you notice your heart beating on the mat. One last breath here. Slowly start to roll onto your back. Hug your knees in towards your chest. Gentle, loving hug. You can rock side to side. Eventually, start to allow your knee to fall over to the right side. Shoulders stay heavy, stay grounded. If you want a little more support, take your pillow, your block, your bolster underneath or in between your knee. Again, once you've found your variation, settle in, stay there, be heavy. Just rinsing out through your spine. Opened up through the front line. Now as we twist, get rid of anything we don't need. bringing out a spine. Slowly move back towards center. Hug your knees in once again. Stay with this loving hug as long as you need. When you're ready, when you feel the time is right, start to drop both knees over to the left side again, keeping your shoulders heavy. Some support underneath, in between your knees if you need it. Or you just release into this twist. Trust that your body is going to take itself to where it needs to be. The sensation that arises is what's necessary. Where it arises is where it's necessary. Trust your body, let go of any tension, whatever you're holding on to. Allow the breath to take over, let gravity draw your knees heavy to the ground. Few more breaths here. Let the knees melt down, let the shoulders be heavy. And gently, once you're ready, start to hug the knees in towards the chest. One more loving, gentle embrace. Let your belly expand into your thighs. Let that prana move in and out. And when you're ready, you can send your legs out long, your arms down by your side. Shavasana awaits our final resting pose.
Do whatever you need to do to be comfortable here. If you need to place a bolster or a pillow underneath your knees, go for it. Do what you need to do. This is your practice. This is your Shavasana. Once you get there, start to let your feet sink down into the mat. Feel them melt away. No longer have any control, you don't need it. After your leg, the neck. Feel them heavy. The lower leg, the upper leg, all sinking down into the mat. It melts away, there's no more control, and that's fine. You don't need it. Next, your hand sink down. And then your arm. And you know they're still there. You no longer have any control over them because you don't need it. After your arm, torso begins to sink down. Don't worry, everything still works. There's some subconscious actions still taking place. You just have no need to control them yourself. Do you feel your torso sink down finally? Your head. Melts down into the ground. The lens I want you to look this whole process through is reconnecting with the earth, reconnecting with the ground. So as everything melts away, sinks down into the earth, everything's coming home to where it belongs. You can let go of the breath, let go of the body, let go of anything else you're holding on to, and just be one with where you came from. some awareness back to your breath. Just watch your belly rise and fall. Just watch prana, the air, move in and out. Keep your eyes closed through all of this. Start to invite some movement back into your fingers and your toes. Just really small, gentle movement. As that ripple of movement turns into a wave, roll into your left side. Take your time here, there's no rush. When you feel the time is right, start to move towards a comfortable seat. When you get there, bring your hands to your heart. In Anjali Mudra, take a gentle bow of your head. Take a moment to acknowledge not just yourself, but all the other beautiful yogis out there who've done this practice alongside you. As always, I leave you with what Maharaji left Ram Das: love everybody, tell the truth. Namaste. Thank you so much, guys, for sharing this practice. As always, if you have any questions, any requests, even just want to give us feedback, let us know how you're going with the practice, please reach out either on the community Facebook page or over social media. Guys, we always love to chat, we always love to hear about it. Thank you so much. See you next time.